Hello all, welcome to pythovibes YouTube channel. In this channel, we will be posting all the Python based interview questions and answers along with the best explanation. These videos will help you to understand the Python basic and advanced concepts and will provide you the guidance to build programming logics so that you can crack your coding interviews easily. If you found these videos helpful for you, kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's get into our today's video. Mostly asked interview question is, what are the lambda functions in Python? Lambda is a keyword which is used to define anonymous functions. So these functions are also known as lambda functions or lambda expressions. So these lambda expressions are often used for simple operations. These are not meant to be used for complex logic. So we will see the syntax of lambda expressions. So the syntax would be lambda arguments colon expression. Here, if we observe, lambda is a keyword. So this is the beginning of the lambda function definition. In normal functions, we will be using def, but here we will be using lambda as a keyword. And next, arguments. These are nothing but parameters only which we will be passing to the lambda function. And just like a regular function, we can pass multiple arguments to this lambda function, but only one expression. So the expression here, it is nothing but some operation that the lambda function performs. The result of this expression is the return value of the lambda function. So let's see some of the examples for this, and let me open IDE. It's like I want to know the square of some number, some random number. So how do we achieve that? By using def keyword, will be starting our regular function. So def square of some random number, I'm taking it as x, and then what it has to return? It has to return me the square of this number. And if we print this, I wanted to check what is the square of 6. Let me save it and run it. We will get 36, and we can check for any number. Like I just wanted to check the square of 56. So this is 3136. That is how we will be achieving the square of any number. But if we observe it, we were writing this same code in 3 lines. So the same thing can be simplified and can be written in single line of code. So that is where we can use the lambda functions here. So what do we do? Instead of def keyword, we will be using lambda to define our lambda expression. So lambda, we know that if we remember the syntax, lambda arguments colon expression. So this is my argument x, and I wanted to do this operation. This is my expression. So you just have to remember one thing, that we can have multiple arguments, multiple parameters, but we can have only single expression, single operation. So that is the that should be keeping in mind whenever we use the lambda keyword or whenever we define lambda functions. So earlier we have written in 3 lines of code, but now it came to only 2 lines of code. So this is where the lambda functions are helpful. If the function is if the task of something is very simple, then instead of defining some named function, we can go with anonymous function. To create anonymous function, we will be using lambda keyword in Python. So let me save this and run and check the output. So we got same output 3136 with the lambda expression also. So this is for single argument, and we achieved it. But what if we have a list of values, like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want the output as squares of each number in this list. What are the squares? 1, 4, 9 and 16 are both squares. These are just simple numbers I had taken. So how do we do using the normal function? We will be defining using the def keyword, and I have to give the name of this function as the squares, and I should pass the argument to this function. So the same entire list I'll be passing to this squares, and then I am initiating one result list called result, and I have to loop over all the elements in this list for element in list, and then each element I have to append into this result. So let me append the each element square value into this result list. Result dot append of element star star 2. So this will append the square of each number in the list, and finally I have to return the result list. And how do we call these squares? Print squares of, I just have to pass the list to this function, and let me save it and run it. So we got our expected output, which is 14916. And then So this can be simplified using the list comprehensions. We can do that, like squares equals to for x in list, but what do we have to save it each time? X stars of 2 should be our output. So if we print this, we will get the same output, 1 4 9 16. So this is one way by using the list comprehensions. You can name it as squares of squares underscore LC, which is nothing but list comprehensions. But we will see how do we do it using the lambda expressions. So I'm defining squares equals to one variable. I'm just taking it as a squares, and we know that how do we write x colon x star star 2. This is my expression and x is my argument. So if we simply run this, what will happen? What this line means, this is only doing it for single argument, but we wanted to do it for each element in this list. It has the same anonymous function should be applied to all the elements. In that case, we can use map. So this map will take one function and iterables. So here the function is lambda function, which is anonymous function, and iterables are nothing but our list of elements. So I passed it, and what it will return? It is returning map object. So, but we don't want a map object because we cannot understand what is there inside this map object. So we will convert that all the map object into list of elements by using list constructor. And if I would print the squares here, I would see the same expected output, 1 4 9 16. So this lambda expression or lambda functions, we can pass it as a key to any other built-in functions also, so that we can cover it in our next video. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe to this pythovibes YouTube channel.